Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Arcade1Up Ms. Pac-Man Legacy Edition arcade cabinet, the first ever Ms. Pac-Man release from Arcade1Up. This is the first Arcade1Up Ms. Pac-Man machine with that iconic Ms. Pac-Man Bandai Namco cabinet shape. This is the first Arcade1Up Ms. Pac-Man machine with Wi-Fi online leaderboards. This is the first Arcade1Up Ms. Pac-Man machine with the black and pink color scheme. I don't know, I give up. All kidding aside about some of the redundancies on this cabinet release, there are a couple of things that are actually very new to the lineup, specifically the molded coin door on the front of this machine. That's a first for a Ms. Pac-Man machine, and it's a welcome change in my opinion. It looks great, though it is faux, it doesn't necessarily function. It looks amazing, and it's a much needed improvement over the sticker version or just the lack of a coin door altogether, where previously we just had, a listing of the games on that front kick plate. This is also a 14-in-1, so this has more games than any Pac-Man release to date, and specifically it's got a new game called Dragon Buster, which is a side-scrolling themed platformer. Probably not gonna, write anybody that's your favorite game, but it is fun, especially if you like killing things that look like, rabbit, chicken, chicky things. I don't even know what to call it. It's like a chicken nugget with teeth, pretty much is what they look like to me. This machine features 14 games, all of which have the ability to track and record your personal high scores on a worldwide leaderboard, thanks to the built-in Wi-Fi feature. Simply connect your machine to your local area network via the on-screen menus, and then you'll be raring to go start climbing your way up the rankings. Now, you don't need to be connected to the internet to play or record high scores for any of these games at all. You can enjoy them all right out of the box the moment you power up the machine. Think of the Wi-Fi connectivity as an added bonus that's available to use should you wish to. And since the internet connectivity is only for high score record keeping, if you're a user out there who doesn't necessarily have the strongest or speediest network connection, well, don't worry. That isn't an issue with this machine, since you won't be competing head-to-head against other players online in real time. Players will also be able to toggle various different gameplay settings and options specific to each of the 14 games on this machine. You'll be able to change things like the number of lives each player has at the start of the game, difficulty settings, high score bonus levels, and even fan favorite changes like the speed up option for Ms. Pac-Man and the rapid fire setting for GALAGA. Something that I personally love to see, as those types of changes not only make the games more challenging for certain users, but overall it makes them more enjoyable. Of the 14 included games, a few of them are made for horizontal screens, so their presentation on this vertical display is going to give you the black bars on the top and the bottom of your screen, which overall limits the amount of viewable real estate for those games. And I really do wish Arcade1Up would stop doing this sort of thing, personally, but fortunately the games that this affects on this cabinet aren't likely to be the ones that are truly driving demand and sales for this machine overall, so it'll likely be a moot point for most users. Now, I was very happy to see that pixel smoothing by default is turned off for all the games on this machine. Why that's significant is because a lot of the earlier releases from Arcade1Up had it on by default, and there was no way to turn it off, and honestly, it just makes the games look pretty atrocious. Everything looks smeared with Vaseline or like you're looking through a cloudy window. So it's nice that Arcade1Up learned from that mistake, and they made it a toggleable option here to where you can change it on or off should you wish. Don't turn it on though. It's seriously terrible. Not much has changed in the way of controls on this particular Legacy Edition Ms. Pac-Man machine. The joystick is set to a 4-way position and is responsive enough to perform well for everyone from the casual to intermediate levels. Very skilled and more advanced players still may find themselves wanting to change the joystick out for a different third-party product altogether to really get the most out of their gameplay and better their chances on the high score leaderboards. You'll find a few additional action buttons on the control panel to allow one to properly play some of the games on this machine that require a little more interaction than the standard Ms. Pac-Man joystick offers. Buttons themselves are just fine, however the switches located inside them are still the same mushy filling switches that Arcade1Up has been using for years now. So if you weren't a fan of them then, you aren't going to be a fan of them now. Now this machine, just like a lot of the newer releases from Arcade1Up as of late, features a built-in headphone jack on the control deck. Simply get your favorite 3.5mm headphone cord, plug it into your headphones, and then you can game quietly throughout the household at the loudest settings without bothering anybody around, which is great for those overly repetitive sound effect games like King of Balloon on this machine. Arcade1Up went with a black and pink colorway on this legacy release, and I will gladly admit I do like the look of it. The bright colors really pop off the glossy black finish on the cabinet, and the pink trim along the sides of the cabinet that also adorn the riser and control panel look great. Traditionalists, though, still may prefer the classic blue Miss Pac-Man colorway. Fortunately for them, Arcade1Up has already released a few machines that have that exact design. The marquee itself looks good and was free of any lighting hotspots or discolorization. I was honestly expecting the black colors on the marquee to come across as a very muted gray when it was illuminated, but I was pleasantly surprised to see that wasn't the case. I was also happy to see that Arcade1Up has utilized the BOE branded monitor in this machine. These displays are quite sharp, have really good color contrast, and have great viewing angles from all directions. Arcade1Up had very recently been using a different brand of monitor for some of their other recent cabinet releases, and those monitors suffered from all kinds of issues compared to the monitor found in this unit. So one can breathe a sigh of relief here, as this machine won't suffer that same tragedy. At the end of the day, I think this is a great looking machine with a nice set of features that offers up an enjoyable gameplay experience for fans of these classic arcade titles. I do question the necessity of this release though, as there have already been numerous other Miss Pac-Man and Pac-Man cabinets come out from Arcade1Up that have smaller but vastly similar game lineups, and some machines have already featured the Wi-Fi leaderboards on those as well. So unless you're a die-hard Heart Foundation fan who just loves the black and pink color scheme, or you're an early adopter of one of their earlier Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man releases from Arcade1Up, well, there probably isn't enough new here to garner your interest to buy this machine. If you're interested in picking up this cabinet, I'll put some product links down in the video description box below for your convenience. For more information about other cabinets and other products, you can visit Arcade1Up.com. And that does it for this video review. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit the like button, share this video with your friends if you found the information helpful, and as always, thanks for watching, guys. It really means a lot.